Hey everyone, this is Rocky from WeLearnChess.com, and this video is, I guess, the third part of a small series that has turned out to be a series on my games against Chessmasters. Didn't really think about that before, but I made a video the other day about my first game against a Chessmaster online that was against a National Master in a bullet game, and I drew that game and was even a little bit better for a slight while, although he totally outplayed me for probably most of the middle game there. And I had my first game against a candidate's master the other day. I lost that game, although I missed a forced win, basically, in the middle. And so I had a draw and a loss. And yesterday I was playing a 2-1 bullet tournament on Chess.com, and I got another game against a master. And this one I actually managed to win. So I got my first win against a master. It's a chess master, either online or over the board, so it was pretty cool. So I'll just show the game really quickly. Again, this is 2-1. It was part of a tournament. And I had the black pieces, so we got a Nimzo. Played this queen b3 move. I remember, like, in the old days I used to play this. I don't remember exactly which of the old great players used to do this. And then somehow it fell out of favor. I forget why. I mean, if I had to guess, I think it's that the queen ends up going back to c2 sometimes anyway, so maybe it ends up being a loss of a tempo. So I'm not really sure the best way to play against this. I just played a5 because I didn't want to take right away. I want to at least make white use another tempo, so that basically he's used his queen move as a tempo, and then maybe he has to play a3 at some point. That would be a tempo, and then if he has to move his queen back to c2 again, it's another tempo, so I'm getting a lot of extra moves in the meanwhile. Plus, a lot of times I end up with my pawn on a5 anyway. It's not like I always play that, but sometimes you end up with your pawns here on these dark squares, and you end up with your bishop here. So you've kind of got a nice complement of control over the dark and the light squares there. But, okay. Anyway, that's just my idea. So I'm just preparing this e5 break, because that helps free up my pieces. And this pawn's a little bit of a nuisance for white, because at some point I might be threatening to play this pawn fork. I'm not yet, because I don't have support for it, but we're getting there. So I guess he tried to block that pawn. Again, this is another tempo that he's used. Now I did get my rook in position, so I am threatening to play this fork now. So like if he castles, then of course he would just lose a piece there. So can't do that. I'm not saying he would take all those times, but okay, so he has to do something about it, basically. That's the point. So here he ends up moving his queen back to c2, so we do see that in this game. So he establishes this common battery. He also adds some protection here to the e4 square, but again he lost another tempo to do that. So I just fianchettoed my bishop here. So I just played b6 because I'm going to fianchetto this bishop. And I didn't play that. Okay, so I fianchettoed. And here actually made a mistake. I could have actually been a lot better right here. He's taking a long time to castle, so my first thought should be to try to open up lines. And a lot of times I do try to do that in the Nimzo, especially against this classical variation. Well, he didn't play the classical, but where the queen's on c2, and there's a lot of moves made here. White loses a lot of time. I mean, black's already castled, got all his pieces developed, has a nice pawn structure, and white still has to castle. So there should be something here. And I did actually have a move here I could have taken on d4. And a lot of times white's already pushed d5, so you don't have that option. Maybe that's one reason I didn't think about it. But actually, he's kind of in trouble here. He's going to lose a pawn at least. Well, he can't take, because then he just basically loses a piece due to f5 and the pin. So what are the other options? He could try to take here, but then again he can't take this pawn due to the pin, and I'm threatening to just take it. I guess he could try to push it, but then he's got this annoying pawn. Cramping his position is going to take him a little while to get rid of it. Or even I can play c5 now, just to shore up that pawn, and I've got a protected passed pawn, and it's going to be hard for him to get rid of it, because I've got this really strong clamp also on b4, so it's hard for him to attack the base of the pawn chain. So that would have been a really nice move. Okay, but I didn't play that, so where are we? Played queen e7, just more support for this file, and then he gets this capture, and I guess he realized afterwards. But I get to cramp his position a little bit here, and I was hoping to go for a little bit of an attack. But I didn't end up really with enough pieces. And I I start to make some less than subpar moves. I mean, here we can see obviously he's the better player. He gets control of the position. He's got pressure on my weak pawn. I was able to shore it up. He's able to trade pieces here, and he probably is a little bit better in this endgame. I should have way back here. Probably I should have moved this bishop over to c6 at some point just to protect this entry diagonal. But okay, I didn't do that. So we got to this endgame here where he was definitely a little bit better, and I ended up with my my knight on a8, which is a pretty sad square for the knight, but just protecting this pawn for now until I get my king over. So I just wanted to get my king over to protect that pawn so that I could free up my knight. And here you can see, I don't know where it is actually. I'm not sure where. I think it shows the amount of time that we had now. Like Chess.com didn't used to do that, but now with the new Chess.com it does. I know on the computer analysis it does anyway. Which, by the way, you can do computer analyses now. As a free member, you can do 2-minute analyses. The deeper analyses, I think you have to have a paid account, but I think you get unlimited computer analyses now. So we're just maneuvering the knights around. We're both like blitzing moves out like crazy. But I think here he ran out of time, and I didn't have a lot either. But I think this is pretty even. I think that both of us should be able to liquidate pawns. Like he might be able to create like get some pressure on this pawn here, but I mean, all I have to do is eliminate one pawn. So I think that I should be okay. Although he is kind of threatening to march this down, so I do have to be careful. I'm not quite sure how I would stop this. And he's got my pawn blockaded, so I don't know. I probably have to try to get my king back a little bit, because when he plays this check, I'm not going to be able to go here to d6. But I'm not really sure here. Yeah, the problem is I can't play the knight here to try to. I just have to get rid of this pawn. I wonder if. Yeah, I mean, I should be able to take this pawn at some point. He basically can't ever move the pawn, and if he tries to do something like this to distract it, I think I'm still back in time. Yeah, I'm still back in time to get it, and actually now he's in trouble. So I don't know. I think that either one of us should be able to liquidate the last pawn with the knight and just end up with insufficient material. So it should be a draw, but I got kind of a cheapo win. But we were both with about the same amount of time, so it's not like we were either one of us was playing on time. We were just playing the position as fast as we could. So I got my first win against a Chessmaster. It was pretty cool, and hope you enjoyed that video. See you around.